Doo doo doo. So how y'all's week's been going?
Good. I'm alive.
You're
A 10-year-old
alive?
threw.
Yeah, that stupid sore throat turned out to be like sickness for a week.
Delightful.
No,
Same.
not at all. Yeah, it sucked because I felt like fine the morning, like the morning of, and then it just got progressively worse at work. And so I was like, oh, this is not going to work out tonight. And you guys did a good job. Well done.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
It
I
was
thought
the
that
same
actually
thing
worked out
for
really
me.
well.
Tuesday or Monday night,
The-
I went to bed, got so sick.
Yeah, the sickness has been going around, man.
Seriously. Everybody around me has been sick, but it's not the same sickness, so I don't feel bad.
Oh yeah, we're streaming, by the way.
Hey,
What is this? 47? 48?
Something
Like that, right?
It's a number.
that's a
that
good
number.
question.
It's a very good question. Also, I feel like I'm not coming in very. Blah 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 blah. That's
Live
probably
now.
good.
Oh shit! God damn it.
Okay.
Whatever. I didn't need that, did I? No.
I want to ask you guys a favor. Will you
I-
help me promote this podcast? Because I keep
I-
forgetting.
I did a done curse.
What?
I colloquially cursed. It's
Okay.
before the episode started, so you're fine.
If it, yeah, that's fine. I wasn't that worried about it. Where the hell did Matt go?
What do you want?
Where are you?
He's here.
Blowing my nose and getting unstuffied.
Unacceptable. You're not
Oh,
allowed
I'm
to
sorry.
be sick.
Okay.
Only
I'm not
only
sick,
everyone
man, it's
but
just a
Matt are
change.
allowed to be sick.
Mm.
All right, let's get this going.
Okie dokie.
It's almost
I'm
my
posting.
bedtime. All right, no more Zelda sounds. What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode number 47 of 1868 Weekly. I am your host, John Macaluso. Today, joined by Matt Rafferty. Matt, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing all right, John. How about yourself?
I am great. Thanks for asking, Matt. There are two things you have to show us, and because of that, we're gonna go to Brad so that I can get him in here on the show. Also joined by Brad Polonsky, pal on the sky. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I made mac and cheese for dinner from scratch.
Dude, mac and cheese by itself is amazing. Mac and cheese
Hell yeah.
from scratch, even better. All right,
It's
so
good.
Matt, we're gonna come back to you. What are we looking at today? What is this awful scene behind you? Let's actually do good first. Talk to us about what is on your head today.
Oh, yeah, these are my Mickey Mouse ears for the upcoming Disney trip that Angela made, and
Yes.
it's super cool. They're interchangeable, and I've never had ears, and I'm stoked to finally do this. Now, behind me, I know I was trying to bring a little bit of winter joy, but it seemed to make you really sad. There's a scene from just outside my house of a decent amount of snow coming down Saturday morning right before the match. And I thought that was how the game was going to be the entire time. Unfortunately, it was rain, but it was really pretty to wake up to, at least.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the snow for a million reasons, but chief amongst them is actually because I don't like driving in it. My truck is a two-wheel drive, rear wheel, does not do well in the snow, yes, or ice. The only time I've ever been in an accident was in the snow. So not a fan of the snow. It does look nice. Like, I'll give you that, Matt. All right.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and there's no guessing location today since Matt told us that it was outside of his house. Unless you want to give us
Yeah.
your address.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
let's
good.
guess. I know where it is.
Let's guess.
I'll show up there tonight.
No, but it's a nice scene. So we'll bring it back to me real quick. We got a few things on the docket today. Of course, we're going to talk about 1868 Weekly. I was just about to say that. Reno 1868 FC who unfortunately just dropped their last match after a 3-match winning streak. So we'll be talking about what happened there. And we'll also be talking about the upcoming match on Saturday. It is the final home game match. And then we'll probably talk about a bunch of random stuff, as we usually do. So let's get started. Reno hosted Phoenix Rising. Rail Monarchs SLC, Salt Lake City, on Saturday. I think it went our way for a little bit. How about some initial thoughts, guys?
We scored first. And then, I mean, not without struggle to score because the referees were extremely, like, in the way of this game. One early goal called back off a corner kick for a foul in the box, I believe, and then one called off for offsides. Absolutely ridiculous that the referee got into the play like that twice again.
And I watched both of them over and over, and I see neither. They both should have been good goals. I see nothing.
You were showing something to us earlier, Matt. Do you still have that accessible so we can take a look at that?
I do. All right, here in the first is in the second minute, we have the phantom foul offside. I don't know. Starts off on a corner kick, whipped in from Seth, headed down, and nothing. Ref actually pointed at the center circle, looks over at his assistant on the side, and he must have had his flag up. I don't know, but we were all busy celebrating and having no idea what's going on. Assuming it was a goal.
I'll run that again if you don't mind while you're talking.
Yeah, absolutely. And we assumed that we had a goal here, and I see absolutely no foul. Nobody's even touching anybody. I don't know. I'm flabbergasted, to be honest.
I see absolutely nothing. I'm just like watching it over and over. I don't see anything. I'm trying to like give the ref the benefit of the doubt here. Even if he's pointing towards the spot, like he's pointing backwards as if the goal counted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and
also,
you can't be offsides on a corner. It's physically impossible to be offsides on the corner because the ball is literally like on the end line there.
Exactly.
So what is that? Like, I wish we could have the USL like head of ref come to us one day and tell us like what was the call, because I know they all wear little earphones. I want to be in on those earphone calls. Because I just want to know what they saw.
I just for the record, I also did not see anything. It was a pretty confusing moment, as you said, Matt, and I don't know. I don't know what happened. USL referees have always been a little rough around the edges, but I feel like this season more so than in past seasons, and I don't know if that's just me. But, I mean, I've been keeping a close eye on Reno soccer since the beginning. So I feel like this season a little bit worse for wear, not just for Reno, but all around the league. What do you guys think about that?
I've seen a lot of chatter around the league, actually, about that. A lot. And maybe it's just because the league's getting more popular and is getting more eyes on it, so the voices are louder. But it seems like people are noticing it. The officiating has been atrocious across the board.
Yeah.
It's more often for us to say, hey, they actually had a decent game. And, as opposed to their standard just crap.
Right.
VAR win?
No kidding.
I mean,
I would love that.
Well, if only that would help. I can't imagine that. I don't know. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine the USL, first of all, wanting to put in the money and everything for VAR. So I don't know. A lot of fans also have a lot of issues with VAR. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I wish that for now referees in the USL would just get glasses. I mean, they should have some decent insurance from the USL, maybe, right?
I would think so.
So yeah,
I imagine they're just contractors.
Yeah, that was another thing I was thinking, but look, if you can't see the calls, what I don't understand is if you can't see the calls, don't make them. That we didn't see anything. I just want some defense, I guess, would be nice from the league or from those refs. But But anyway, probably not going to get it, so we might as well move on to the other goal that we should have gotten. Matt, do you have that handy?
Yeah,
Cool.
I do have that. And
Perfect.
this one was off of a deflection in the midfield that was opportunistic. I believe it was Brent Richards bringing the ball up the side, whips it in, and a phantom offside call. Here we go.
Nobody's offsides.
Still
And
no off.
still-
Okay,
nope.
so moving up the side, still no off.
And still no off.
Okay, now you see
Still-
Danny up top.
yeah.
He's back, and Corey makes a run.
Yep.
And where is the
Goalie touches it.
Yeah, where is the
Well,
offside?
Danny didn't even touch the ball.
He
And
got
he
back
didn't-
into an
he didn't-
onside position.
Well,
before
either
the play even
way, I
started.
mean, he didn't even make a play on the ball. Like I thought it was it's not an offsides unless you make a play on the ball.
Exactly.
So
But regardless, look, he's back on right now. Phantom offside. Like, what is going on? And then, Corey, of course, is pleading his case because he's just as confused as we are. I don't know, man.
one more
The
time,
game,
Matt.
yeah, sure. This game was not exactly in Salt Lake's favor. I thought Reno absolutely should have won it. Even outside of these, they hit the woodwork a couple times, but these are two clear goals, clear as day. I don't know.
I can't. How are you offsides there?
You're not, I mean,
Danny's not touching the ball. It goes off the goalie anyways, which is a deflection.
It negates it. Yeah, exactly.
I don't
I don't
know what it is. The ref had the audacity to call. I'm not accusing anybody of paying anybody because I think that would be the silliest thing to say, but I guess the USL really does need that eye insurance.
I mean, it's part of the human element, and it really sucks in every sport. Pass interference calls in the NFL happen all the time, and strikes that are clearly not strikes are called all the time. It's part of the thing that's a lot of fun about sports, and then part of like a lot of not fun, But watch what happens is this is all going to get eventually computerized, and like we'll have VAR in every sport, and we'll have we won't have officials, we'll have cameras that will call strikes and balls and stuff like that. And then we're gonna really miss this human element. Like,
Is it wrong that I'm okay with that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd
I
rather
feel
the
like
red ball.
I feel like we'd be having a different conversation if Reno had been given goals that they were clearly offsides on.
I call those out.
Yeah, no,
well,
we
no,
accept it.
like we would,
Yeah.
but we'd also be happy about the win. Like, let's be honest here, right?
Sure.
So, so it goes both ways. Unfortunately, it didn't go in our favor this week. I feel like it rarely goes in our favor when it comes to refs, but we move on. And anyway, let's talk about the things that happened in this game that did not involve referees, things that involved our own players. So I don't know if do you have all the highlights at your disposal right now, Matt?
Like the USL official highlights?
Well, like the
rest of the good stuff.
yeah,
and
like
bad
Danny
stuff happened.
Musovski's goal and
I don't.
Okay.
But actually, I could bring that up right quick.
I mean, you're actually good because I do have them. It's just going to take me
Okay, go
like
for
2
it.
seconds to set it up. So if
Yeah, how
you
about it?
guys actually want to talk about, I want you guys to, so I was sick again. I've been getting sick a lot lately. So that's kind of poopy, but that's why I wasn't at the match on Saturday. I actually didn't want to get more sick was the goal. So you guys were there, and as you can see the weather here behind Matt, that was what it was just prior to probably Matt heading to the ball field. It was actually like that up until maybe about 4 or 5-ish. And then from there, it kind of got a little bit nicer outside, and then it started pouring like in the middle of the game. So I want you two to talk about your experience while I set this up with the game, the crowd, and yeah. What was it like on Saturday for people who weren't able to make it?
I'd say if I was to pick 2 words to describe it entirely, it would be cold and wet. But it was still fun. For the people that showed up, they were having a good time. There was a good little mass in section 102, kind of huddled together for warmth like penguins on a documentary, and we were all just playing drums and singing and having a good time. A lot of people in the breezeway that actually stuck out through the game, which was cool. Um, they really pushed this game hard. I think the official distributed tickets was like about 5,000. I mean,
Hmm.
clearly not that many in the stands, even if you include the breezeway, but it was still a good showing considering the crappy conditions.
Oh yeah, no, I thought it was definitely close to 5,000. The official number is 5,007. I thought it probably was closer to 4,000, but still there was a good amount of people there. Just hanging out, like Matt said, in the breezeway. They were clumped under there, especially when the rain really started pouring down somewhere around the 65th, like right after home means Nevada, I think. But the game, honestly, I kind of liked the weather that we had. Although, sure, the rain wasn't fun, but that like mid 50s is kind of like the perfect spot where it's not too cold, but like also like not Orange County in the middle of summer at 1 in the afternoon where I was walking away a different skin color of like red.
Yeah, dude,
Um,
mid 50s. It
okay,
was like
high
it was
40s,
no, it
high
was in the
40s.
30s, dude. It was high
What?
30s.
It
Yeah, it
felt
was
nice.
30. It was
It felt so
38.
nice
Like,
to me.
Every single opener that I've ever been to for Reno, I've gotten really sick. Like it's tradition. It was definitely not 40.
Okay. Well, this game was nice. I didn't hate it. I didn't mind it.
Mhm.
I was wearing layers because we knew the weather was gonna be cold, so you got what you expected. I
Right.
don't think the match itself was like the match was good. Like there was a lot of action that happened for both teams. Like we could be walking away, what if this game was 1-4 instead of 1-2? Or what if those two goals actually actually were the right call and counted? Then it would be 3-2. You know, I don't think we played the worst in the world. I'm still a little irritated that although Calvillo finally ran, little sarcasm clap for him. Although Calvillo was running, Haji managed to pick up his no slack and walked for a lot of the game. I don't know what San Jose's deal is with these players on like what they're expecting these players do, but come on, guys, run please. Like, put in a good effort, a good shift, show that you deserve that MLS contract that San Jose is giving you. Just because this isn't the MLS that you're playing in doesn't mean that you can't treat it with respect. Like they want to see you perform. It behooves you to perform. You have every reason to perform. But why aren't you performing? All right, rant over.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump here into the highlights. You guys are probably gonna have to watch from YouTube because you don't have the you know what I mean. So anyway, here we are. I'm not exactly sure where this is picking up at. So it looks like there it is. Yeah, that's our boy Danny Muzovsky there. Perfect timing. And then you'll have the Harrah's replay coming up here in just a sec. Right. Seth brings it back in. Muzovsky hits it, and it goes in the left side of the net. I'm going to pause that real quick and come back to us. What did you guys think about that goal? I mean, it was pretty, right?
yeah, I thought that was real nice. That's been kind of Danny's forte lately. Is he's been getting those headers, those snap down headers. Not all of them are ending up as goals, but he's been getting a lot of them lately, especially from Brett Richards.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that pair is really linking up well lately. I think that pair has been a good chunk of his 8 goals in the last month or something, and I I think that's quality, and he needs to keep doing that. Like that seems to be what works.
Yeah,
I mean, it was my favorite Reno 1868 goal of the game because it was the only one of the game, I guess.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, man, with this goal, I was kind of surprised that that wasn't called a penalty kick originally. If you go back to that replay, look how close the ball is to the box where Mafeka kicks the free kick at the beginning of that. Um, There was a yellow card given out there. It was close. There's a patch of like dirt that's on the line almost that if it touches the line, if that ball's touching the line, then it's a penalty kick. And that ball's awfully close, that spot that they give. So thought it should have been a penalty kick. Still a goal results from it, so I guess we can't complain.
I would also argue that it was hard fought. Boys did a really good job pushing. Finally, something went in. Unfortunately, as I bring up the video here, something also went in for the other team. And, oh god, this pains me to watch because this is everything I've been complaining about for the last, forever. He just walks it in. No pressure. Look at that.
Opposition has had a few goals like that in the last
Look at this.
month or
This
change,
drives me
so.
nuts. And you guys should know how much I've been complaining about it.
Mhm.
Just nobody in front of him. And I'm actually going to go back to that so you can all revel in it one more time. When I say revel, I mean stew. Look at this. I mean nobody in front. It's one of the first things they teach you in defender school. And I bring up a lot of other sports because they're all very similar in that you always stay between the ball and the goal. And that is not what happened there. And so let's see what else we got here.
Well, if you look, it seems like Seth had a chance to really clobber the dude, but I wonder if he was afraid to just because he was right at the top of the box.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely. It's like right about here, I think. Definitely some hesitation. I think from, you could see it. I'll go a little bit further back. So I don't know if you guys are watching, but you can see right here, Jiggy.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it looks like Seth gives the player to
But
Jiggy,
look,
who's like,
let me show you when this should have been stopped. So he pushes forward. Fine, right there.
Yeah.
Right there. I don't know. I don't know why the decision making and the backpedaling. I mean, one of them could have pushed forward while the other one stayed back. I mean,
Lindo could have made a professional foul right there. I don't know.
I mean,
Hindsight,
if you're
2020.
gonna allow a goal, or like if you've been beat and you can have them shoot from free kick from outside the box, that's fine. Just don't get that red card. Get that yellow card. I see what you're
Yeah,
saying, Matt.
I don't think our keepers get beat on free kicks terribly often.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I'll take that over dribbling through the 18 any day.
yeah, that one's on Jiggy, that one's on Seth. Galindo tries at the very end there to make a stop.
You can't. I
Finger
mean, in
close.
his defense, he's on the. He's really
Yeah.
on the other side of the field. He's got 57 there to worry about. I mean, it's.
He had to slide hard.
Yeah. There was just no way from his standpoint. Here's one of those opportunities that you were talking about earlier, Matt. From Corey. Hit.
Ugh.
Oh, it wasn't from Corey. It was from Danny. But yeah, missed opportunity there. And then here's another one. Oh, jeez. Yeah. For those who are listening to the podcast, and you're not able to watch these with us, what we're watching the highlights from the USL. So go ahead and check those out, and you'll see what we're looking at. And what we're looking at right now is JT being fantastic.
Beast.
And this was that amazing save, and then finally the ball gets pushed out of bounds just past the goal here. See? Crossbar. Save. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
that
JT.
stadium erupted like we had just scored a goal.
Right.
People loved that. That was an amazing play by both JT and the defense.
It
What was
was,
that?
yes.
Jiggy, I think, who made the emergency
Yeah.
save. Just
But
well
still.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another replay of it. Yeah, this has got to be up there for save of the week, especially because it's more than one save. And then here is the they're playing it again. Wow, they really went at it.
Milking that one.
I mean, I can't blame them.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
here
good stuff.
is here's the second goal from SLC, and this goal, I think we're seeing the replay again. This one I think is kind of legit, hard fought for them. Corner kick, and boom.
Yeah, that's kind of an impossible angle, and I'm amazed he was able, to get it in that far
What was
anyway.
it? It was just legitimately a good effort,
Mhm.
unfortunately, and I mean, in my opinion, maybe that one we probably maybe could not have stopped. Sometimes it just happens, you know. Here are our friends ESPN Plus, but those are the highlights for you guys. I definitely wanted to show them off this week. Matt, thanks for doing some work and bringing in yours as well.
You got it, man.
Yeah, so tough, really tough night. I'm not really disappointed in the team today or this week. I mean, I thought that they played fairly well, all things all things considered, and so I'm not here to trash on any individual player. I still am a little sick of getting Quakes players that we don't need. But I've complained to you guys for a long time about that. So I'm going to submit and be ready to move on. So is there anything you guys want to add about any of the highlights we just watched or anything about this match?
Not too much. It was an unfortunate result that could have gone any way, absolutely any way. And Salt Lake's a good side, and we can't linger on this one. Got to move forward and finish out.
Right.
I mean, what my takeaways are from this: we're still 3 points out of second.
Mm.
We're still 7 points out of
Yeah.
fourth. Salt Lake just moved up into fourth. Orange County was in fourth going into that match. They lost. They're now in sixth. Austin Bold is now back in fifth. And Fresno ahead of us lost. So the playout, that was a chance for us to move forward in the standings, given that Fresno lost. Didn't happen, but there's still a lot more soccer to be played in the season. There's still a good 3-4 matches left for each team.
Right.
I guess anything can happen, and even so, we're locked into playoffs right now.
Yeah.
Uh, so there's no way we miss out on playoffs now. We're not talking about potentially missing playoffs, but that home game is just so important to us.
Hmm.
I think it's within view, Brad. It's looking like I think if we can pull out one more win, that should be it.
That is true. We are 3 games. We're 3 results ahead of fourth place Salt Lake City.
Mhm.
Oh, and also Austin Bold. They're tied
Yeah.
in fifth, but they're point differential behind. The fourth to eighth place has gotten super tight just because of all these top teams losing. But I'm not too worried about getting the second. I'm not all I want is the home playoff game.
Yeah.
One win, like you were saying, one win that puts us 4 matches away from Salt Lake, and even with their match in hand, that's it.
Yeah.
If they win out the rest of the season, they can't beat us.
Right. Very, very worst scenario would be beating Vegas. Because I don't see us losing to Vegas no matter what happens. So I feel pretty good about Reno's place right now, especially in getting this home playoff match. It'll be interesting because Reno's weather is starting to turn, and the snow and the cold, it really affects other teams. So, especially other teams that aren't prepared for it yet. Like winter's coming early in northern Nevada, right? I mean, we're supposed to get 60s, I think, and 70s a little bit later in the week, but we've got 3 weeks of USL left. Still plenty of time for the weather to turn and work in our favor. So, get the boys used to it as they are now. And then I think that could be a huge home field advantage.
Oh yeah, look at the teams that are in fifth through seventh, the ones that are more than likely to play against a 3 seed on the road in the first round of the playoffs. Orange County, Sacramento, and Austin Bold.
Perfect. Yeah.
One of those three teams come up. We have vacation. We have over the hill, and we have middle of Austin
Right.
or middle of Texas. Like those are teams that will not be prepared for winter soccer.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that 100%. So we'll see what happens. For now, let's stop looking too far in the future and start looking at the near future, where we've got the El Paso Locomotive coming to town. Any initial thoughts on them, guys?
Uh, you know, ask me 3, 4 months ago, I'd be a little more concerned about this game. But they really haven't looked as good. I feel like I say that about a lot of teams because there's
We
been
all
a,
say
just
that
a
about a lot of teams. It's all
yeah,
good.
there's been a huge shift about like mid-season.
Yeah.
Like a lot of starting out great teams have
New
just
Mexico.
tanked.
Yeah.
Tulsa of all teams
Tulsa.
started out
Yeah.
so
Right.
good.
I remember when we were
El
all like,
Pat,
"What is happening here?" All is right in the world
but
again.
yeah, El Paso, they did have a decent result recently. Sacramento has been creeping up the standings lately, but they ended up taking them down in Sacramento on Saturday, 2-1.
Yeah.
But aside from that, they really haven't done a whole lot. Yeah, they beat Colorado Springs, they beat Vegas, but losing to RGV, tying with Tulsa, losing to Orange County, that's not a great showing over a decent span. So I feel like, we're home. We should be doing all right. This is a team that we're not quite as familiar with Salt Lake, but I don't think that they are nearly as good as Salt Lake are or have nearly the resources that Salt Lake has. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic about this one.
Brad, your thoughts?
I mean, let's look at, players that have scored. I have their stats open. Players that have scored. Jerome Quesavera, 11 goals in 20 appearances. The next closest one is Gomez with 4 and 12 appearances. And everybody else is pretty much less than that. Uh, they are very good on defense. That's the only reason why they are looking at a play-in game in playoffs right now. That's the only reason why they beat us all the way back in April. This isn't a team that scores often. This isn't a team that scores buckets. They're just a team that you're not going to see a lot of goals against. Uh, that's I guess the highlight there. Their goal differential is +4. You know, this is a team we should be able to. If we can score 2 on, we win easily.
Yeah, guys, I gotta tell you, I feel pretty good about this match. Um, not not too worried that they can't bring or that they could bring anything that we can't handle. I feel like Reno was very good when they're coming off of a loss, despite the last winning or losing streak. Reno still typically comes out on top after games they lose, and it's Reno's last home match, and there's also this home playoff berth which we want. And I think it'd be crazy for any fan of Reno to be like, no, we don't really want a home playoff match. We want it, and I'm telling you, this weather is going to be huge for coming up. So that's my prediction as far as weather is concerned. I think it's a huge advantage, and we'll have to see what happens. But I feel pretty darn good about Reno's chances against the Loco, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and go into predictions first, since I actually completely missed last week. My excuse was going to be that I was trying to give you all a chance. It didn't work out though.
Thanks.
Hey, it's easier to say that than it is to say you're sick for the bajillionth time.
Yeah, right. So, so I was giving all y'all a chance, and I'm gonna have a 2-1 win. I think it's gonna be like Brad was saying. I don't think we're gonna be able to score a whole lot on them, but I think we're still gonna score enough on them to beat them. And I've got Corey and I got Danny. The easy pickings, right, guys? I also feel like the way Reno has been playing lately, we're probably not going to be able to shut them out. And just because we give them too much space. Which one of you guys wants to give your predictions next? All
I
right,
want it.
Brad, go for
Uh,
it.
Oh, Matt was going ahead.
Yeah, he was.
I'm just looking at
he
the
ceremoniously handed it off to you, man. Go
Yeah,
for
I
it.
know. You know, I'm having a 2-0 win on this one. I was trying to think of who my goal scorers would be, and my rationale for saying it's a shutout after John has to be over here saying it's not going to be a shutout. But I honestly just feel like this is a team that wants that second place, wants to be hosting home games. I talked with Brent Richards after the game a little bit, and I said, "Man, next week's our last home game," and he's like, "No, it's not. We want to play a lot of home games." So, he wants at least second place. I think this team wants to start playing like it. Um, and I'm going to say that a San Jose player scores. I'm going to say Haji. I don't know why. I just want him to actually try running. That might be a good thing for his career. And I also will go on the Danny Musovsky hype train and continue to keep riding the head that keeps scoring.
All right, Matt, what you got?
All right. So I feel like I kind of had to adjust my score, or at least my goal scores, a little bit just throughout both years, because I'm pretty sure I started out exactly what you picked, John.
Yeah.
So let me switch this up a little bit, and going off a little bit what Brad said about Brett Richards, and kind of makes me feel like he's extra hungry for a goal this time around. So I'm going to say it's going to be 2-1, uh, Corey and Brett.
All
There we
right.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be a Reno win. I went for 2-1 the last game. It was the wrong kind of 2-1. We're going to get the right kind this time.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds good to me. I'm down. I'm always down with the right kind of scores. All right. So we've kind of run through all of this really quickly, actually. So we're like halfway through the show, and we've got we got a lot of time. Let's talk about some more soccer stuff, though. Anything going on right now in the USL, Brad, that you want to talk about, or you know what, anywhere?
You're muted.
Brad's trying to
I'm
talk.
muted. Yay. Okay.
Hey, there you are.
Not really. I guess part of it is San Jose looks like they are playing regressively again. They are starting to tumble down the standings again. Kind of laughing at it because they keep sending us players that represent how they went from like second place in the standings to what is that, like seventh or eighth?
Yeah.
And it took like 2 weeks for them to tumble down the standings. So, I guess they want us to play like that. We can't upshine them again. So, yeah.
All right, Matt, you always have something you want to talk about.
I do. Yeah, I have a couple things actually. Firstly, this is the least shocking news. Swope Park is no more. Not that the team is going away, but that they're rebranding as Sporting Kansas City 2 for the 2020 season. I
No.
believe they're still staying in the championship. They're not moving down to League One. I have mixed opinions on this. I like the Swope Park branding. I think it's cool, but they don't play in Swope Park anymore. They haven't all year. I don't think they have since the middle of last year. Um, but come on, man, you can be a little more creative than that.
Yeah, I really like. I like to think of them as sequel teams, and they're awful. They just like sound. It just sounds gross. Like Los Dos is nice because for one reason, Spanish.
And
Yeah,
rhyming.
that's it. Yeah, and rhyming. So, that's it. I mean, I'm glad that we have Tacoma now. I want more teams to not be twos. Just awful. It's boring. It's like not colorful at all. So, yeah, don't do that, teams. Go away, Sporting Kansas City 2. All right, what else, Matt?
All right, got another one here. USL East Bay, which everyone, well, as of now, it's speculation is going to be Walnut Creek. They are pushing really hard to get into the 2020 season instead of their speculative 2021 season. So we may end up seeing them sooner than possible. They're talking about playing at a community college venue for their first season for a temporary stadium. while they build their actual stadium. I don't know. We'll see. That's a pretty close road trip. I would love another one in Northern California. Anything within like 3 or 4 hours, I'm all for it.
That's like 5-10
Yeah,
minutes from where my family's at.
Oh, I'm just thinking that's too many. Or we're talking about San Diego, right?
No.
No. Walnut Creek, East Bay.
Yeah, no, that's too many teams
Too many
What?
teams where?
in California.
Oh, they can support
Do,
it.
do you not
I
like
mean-
short road trips? Hold on one second. Would you rather
When
like
have I ever been able to go on one, Brad? Think
But
about
more away days,
next
man.
year?
that. Let me talk to you guys about how little paid days off I get. Anyway, that's not the point here. The point is that
It's a
California's got
Saturday.
way too many
The
teams.
3-hour drive. 3-hour drive, 3.5-hour drive on a Saturday?
No,
Oh my gosh. I'm disappointed.
no.
I'm all in, man.
California's got too many teams.
No, let's see. How many teams did they have? They have Orange County, Sacramento, Los Dos,
Fresno.
Fresno.
That's it.
And they're
4.
going to have San Diego.
Okay, so up to 6 now.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
way too much.
We
And
all
then
know your
7 with
little
East
love
Bay.
for San Diego. You love San Diego. We all know that. You've said it so
I
many
do
times.
love San Diego. Brad's about to get me because I do love San Diego.
Yeah,
But San Diego should be the final California team.
if it means that those teams that are T2 type teams start getting phased out to League One.
Oh, then I'll accept
Um,
it. Fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
See, you knew that my weakness was there as well, Brad. Especially since I just complained about it.
But see, as a native Nevadan, I am required by law to hate California.
Yes.
But I will say that they can cover it. Like they can easily support a team in every single like major city in the state. Easily.
And-
Shit. I mean, I say, whoops. Stockton. You could have a Stockton United and it would work. Because it's
Stockton really
California.
United?
Stockton United. All right.
You mean Stockton
All
disenfranchised?
right,
Let's
Stockton
mark
rebellion?
that timestamp.
Oh,
so
I
we
already
can
got it. Don't worry
format
about it. I think
Uh,
I enjoyed using that beep last time, so I'll just beep it because it's funny.
The classic beep is
Yes,
the way to go.
it
It
is.
actually sometimes makes it funnier.
Yeah. So, all right, next topic.
Okay.
No expletives, Matt.
I'm sorry. Next topic here is so this is a rumor, but there seems to be a few people confirming it that Fresno FC may be sold, and that in the selling there is no guarantee about where they're going to be. It could either be the championship, League One, or they might even go on hiatus for 2020. It just came out just a few hours ago. And it is from a semi-reputable source, one of those guys who drops rumors and they almost always come up to be true.
Right.
So,
Hopefully
know, man.
that one's not true.
mhm.
That would suck.
Selling it to an owner who wants to do more with it, that'd be a great thing, especially if they're going to stay in the championship.
What are the chances? Just what are
knows?
the chances, right? So, I don't know.
No,
I actually kind of like Fresno, so I don't want anything bad to happen to them.
Hey, it's one less California team for you, though.
You're right. Get the hell out of California. All right. So, interesting if it's true. I guess we'll find out soon. What else you got, Matt? You look like a man who's got more soccer stuff to talk about.
I was trying to think if there's anything the last couple of days, but I really think that's about it as far as big happenings around the league. I mean, Phoenix drew again, so their streak is further being stomped into the ground, which is nice. Aside from that, I don't know.
Cool. I do have a couple things to talk about. For one, it's Manchester United makes me very sad, and obviously so do the Quakes. Reno is probably the only good team that I follow right now. And the big thing I want to talk about though, guys, is you two know, and a lot of the other people on the podcast, and even a good amount of the players, that I love FIFA. And this year I decided to jump ship to PES.
Hey,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's actually super solid. It's a lot harder. Like I started getting blown out. Um, it's like the pace is a lot slower. It's more of a sim than FIFA's arcade shenanigans. Like I only scored 5 goals in PES like right before the podcast, whereas in FIFA I've done it a million times. Uh, you have to be a lot more calculated. There's a lot more build up. So I would recommend to those of you who maybe haven't gotten into soccer games but want to try PES. And there's also a lot more like micromanagement with the team, which is kind of fun. I get to sign players for the amount that I want and blah blah blah. Of course, if they take it. But I've been enjoying it. So if you want to break from FIFA like I did, check out PES. It's also really pretty. Like run it on Max on the PC, so it's really nice looking. But that's the big soccer thing I wanted to talk about was the difference between PES and FIFA. The thing that does suck is PES does not have MLS, so that's kind of crappy.
Boo.
Yeah, I mean it's got like European League, which is Premier League, right? But they've got an exclusive deal with Manchester United, so they're in the game, which is one of the reasons I chose to try it out. But I like playing with the Quakes and every now and then starting a Reno player. Not going to happen this year, it looks like, which is fine because I want to break from FIFA, and this is a good alternative. It's a little bit more realistic. The ball actually feels like a ball, and not like it's attached to a bungee cord at the end of the player's feet. So that's kind of nice. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. So that's my soccer jazz for my additional soccer jazz for this week. All right. You
Yeah.
know what? I guess we're gonna probably bounce out of here early. So let's do some random thoughts, Brad.
All right. My random thought is oftentimes I work at a mental health hospital. Oftentimes what I see is kids that come in because I work with adolescents still. Kids that come in and sometimes unfortunately have to leave early because insurance doesn't cover them, even though they are, still oftentimes suicidal, which is something I see very, very often. Now that today's the last day of Suicide Awareness Month, and I feel like nobody's really talked about it. Um, I guess that I'm stepping in to fill the void here. Uh, you know, what I always tell these kids when they're getting discharged and they seem to be, you know, they seem to have no light at the end of that tunnel at that discharge of hope. What I say is very simple. I say, I'm gonna worry about you when I go home tonight. Just because oftentimes these kids feel like nobody's worrying for them, and if you are out there, and someone that does have thoughts, if you know someone that does need reaching out to, the hardest thing sometimes is to be that person to reach out. It's the best thing you can do for anybody by reaching out, by worrying about someone, by showing that you care in their time of need. Um, you know, I hope, and I had one kid today who was discharged for that, and I'm worrying about that one kid today. So yeah, it's a tough time. It's a tough thing, and I see it every day.
All right. Thanks, Brad. All right, Matt. What is your random thought?
All right, my random thought. Oh, I just want to add on with Brad's. If anybody's on Twitter or anything, like follow Chris Malinab. He has a
Yeah,
lot of great
definitely.
resources. He was actually just dropping some stuff today, and he's trying to push the rest of mental suicide awareness, and just mental health in general. Just just talk to somebody. I think that's really the biggest thing you do is just be open. Okay, no, let's bring it to a little levity now. I just wanted to throw that out there. Sorry. Um, so my random thought is there is a good chance that I'm not going to be here next week. Yes, yeah, there's a decent chance unless I can get anywhere that's actually got some good Wi-Fi. But you never know when you're in an area where there are literally tens of thousands of people per block.
Right.
So we'll see. I'll be down in Disney. Even when I'm in the hotel, it's gonna be really iffy, and who knows if I'm going to be there on the same time. Maybe I'll pop in for a good 5 to 10 minutes before Angela drags me away, and so we can get a churro and ride a ride. I don't know, but Uh, hopefully I can make it, but I know you guys can handle it, and I'll be having a blast anyway.
Yeah,
That's some commitment.
fun fact is this will be the first episode Matt's ever missed since he's joined.
Really?
Yeah. Every single episode you would have missed, we either didn't have an episode or we rescheduled it to a time where you can make it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Hey.
I've probably missed more episodes than you two have even been on. Just because at a time I was doing this by myself, right? So if I didn't feel good or I couldn't make it, I just wouldn't do it. So so it's nice having partners now, and I appreciate you both.
Yeah.
You've probably missed more than us two combined since you joined, or since we joined.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well,
I
now
think
that I
I've
have people that can handle it, I'm a little more like open to being like, they got it. Plus, and this may come as a surprise to all of you people listening. One day, one of these two will be the host, and I will no longer be a part of the podcast. That's the goal. So,
You're gonna be supervising.
yeah, if even that, I mean, we'll have to see. But I think that's a good ways in the future, so we don't really have to worry about that too much. All right, my random thought. Talked about video games earlier. Zelda was something that Matt brought up last week. It's a great game. Buy it for not $60. And then the other thing I wanted to say was I finally am getting down on Resident Evil 2 remake. So the way my brain works is when October comes around, I get in really like horror-y, kind of horror-y. Don't
Spooky
use
time.
that word. Yeah, spooky kind of mood. There we go. Where I just want to write horror and I want to consume horror. And so here's the deal: is 11 months out of the year I'm a big baby and I won't watch or play horror stuff. But for 1 month of the year, I'm all in it, baby. I'm like, get me some Resident Evil 2, get me some like crazy horror movies on Netflix because I don't want to pay for it, but you guys know what I mean. Stuff like that. So anyway, this is all leading up to the idea that horror is exciting and fun in October, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to writing stuff, and I'm looking forward to playing more Resident Evil. It's a great game. I'm like blown away by it so far. I never played it when I was a kid because it gave me nightmares, like really bad nightmares. I'm talking like night terrors, Brad. So yeah, so I was like, and you know what's funny is because I look back on those graphics now, and I'm like, that's nothing, right? But back then, yes, I cried like a baby about it. And same with Chucky. A friend and I were talking about that a while ago. Chucky used to scare the hell out of me. But I guess I grew out of it. Chucky doesn't really bother me anymore. So, yeah. So get down on some horror stuff. If you guys like horror and you're like, oh, dude, John should check this out, hit me up with something. Just hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Facebook or Insta or what? Facebook, whatever.
I got one for you.
Yes.
Have you played Silent Hill 2, either the original or the remake?
I have not.
That is maybe the only game that I've never been able to play with the lights off, like at night. So find the remake with the updated graphics and play that and have a good spooky time.
Yeah,
It is
I have
excellent.
heard great things about Silent Hill 2.
Mhm.
Also PT, which scared
Yes.
the hell out of me. And that's a modern one. Yeah. So, yeah, PT is great. Silent Hill 2, definitely I will check that out when I can.
Excellent.
And yeah, and maybe one of these days, if you guys are following the Twitter, definitely if you're following the Facebook, because I do it every year, I always post something that I've written. So last, like, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I wrote a poem, like a horror poem. And it's somewhere on Facebook. If you really want to find it, I'm sure you probably could. I'll probably repost it because I've been thinking lately about writing a sequel. So check that shit out. You'll love it. All right. Anyway, that's where we're gonna sign out. I think we're gonna sign out on horror. Brad, where can we find
Excellent.
you on social media?
All right, you can find me not playing spooky video games because I am a wuss, but you can find me on Twitter. See what I did there? At Pal on the Sky, and on Reddit at also Pal on the Sky.
All right, Matt, where can we find you?
All right. You can find me mostly on Reddit on r/USL Pro, sometimes on Twitter a little more lately. My screen name on both is Raf Out Loud with underscores between each word. Subscribe to me on Twitter. The week of Vegas coming up. I got some stuff to drop, and you're going to want to see it.
Nice. Yes. Definitely do that because Rivalry Week is fun with Matthew Rafferty. You could go ahead and find me on Twitter at John Macaluso. Find me on Instagram at the John Macaluso, and then Facebook John Macaluso. I use my name a lot, so if you type it in, you'll probably find me. Also, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube, but you're watching us right now, you need to hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, get out, go away, and then come back, and then hit that subscribe button. And then, of course, follow 1868 Weekly on Twitter. And that's all we got for you guys. Take us away, Brad.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, listening, talking, predicting, everything you do for us as always. Indian we trust. And
Vamos
Azules!
thanks for watching,
See
guys.
ya.
Bye, everybody.